Pascale, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. So a movie like this, the premise of it really is kind of just like every viral video or story you've ever heard about a woman getting scorned, like two women getting scorned by one man, they team up together. And so I loved that setup of this movie, that it was like two women scorned, but they're still trying to find answers. And
Yeah.
so when you are playing with that dynamic on top of like the mystery of what's going on, how fun was it for you as an actor to get to kind of build that relationship and explore like the mystery of this movie through that lens?
I loved that dynamic. I love that dynamic. It's very rare, honestly. I don't get scripts like that. I haven't seen a lot of scripts like that where it's two women who honestly should hate each other and despise one another. And certainly there's that dynamic for sure between the two of them, but that they end up kind of getting past that first begrudgingly and then by choice, and then they really appreciate one another. That was really exciting to me. I have never been in a movie like that. I never read a script like that, so that was wonderful and really exciting to share the screen with another really strong dynamic woman. I feel like often in scripts you only get one and we got two, and the fact that they were so different, like they're really opposites, and yet they learn to really appreciate, and the two of them bring out the best in one another. And then of course there's in that it's that relationship within the landscape of this mystery. And that
Mhm.
was I really like the thriller genre. I think we don't see as much of it anymore, and I think it's people still like watching it. People want to put the mystery together, they want to figure it out, who's the bad guy, and what is the dynamic here between these women. When is Sharon ever going to figure out that Joe was having an affair with her husband? Like that kind of gets stretched out for quite a while, and you're thinking, we know that has to come out, we know that's going to be a big bomb that's going to go off soon, when is it going to happen? and
Yeah.
uh and I think that that's exciting. I think it's exciting for me as an actor, certainly to act in, but it was really exciting, I think, it will be for an audience to watch.
Yeah, and I think it's so interesting when you said about the affair thing, because I think that is what I think is so cool, is that that is the lie and the upset, not that really the affair, because it's very clear like she did not know he was married. That was not a part, like that was information that she didn't have either. But it is that she lied after all this time of them like working together, that I think is
Yes.
so cool for those two characters, because you could have made it a woman scorned and the woman who scorned her, but that's not really what we get in this movie.
Yeah, and you can also see why Joe's character couldn't tell Sharon
Mhm.
about the affair. The timing was really not opportune to By the time the opportunity presented itself, the two of them were so deep into trying to figure out the mystery of his death that it sort of felt like, I can't tell her now. That's going to ruin everything. And I also really like her. I want to keep, like, the two women really liked each other and wanted to keep on hanging out and doing this kind of investigation together and working together. And I think Joe knew that that was going to really ruin things.
Yeah, and it is funny because all of the guys are like, "Why you keep bringing her around?" And it was like when it's revealed, it's like, yeah, those guys were like hinting they were doing a bad job at it, but all of the guys were like hinting, like, "Hey, why is she here?"
Yeah, yeah.
But with a movie like this, it is like the ending made me be like, "Oh, I hope this is like a Bad Boys series." Like it has that vibe of like these two women are gonna just like go around solving random
I
murders
would
that
love
happen
it.
around them.
I would love it. I loved working with Javicia. I loved working with Martin Wood, our director. But I also just felt like this was the beginning of a really interesting partnership of these like two women solving mysteries. They've got these weird skill sets that kind of go together and they collaborate well. I thought it was a great premise, and I'm totally down for it. Let's do it.
Well, yeah, and I was gonna say, I was like, I do like that, like their skills are explained within the movie in a way that you're not like, sure, she like it's like, no, it's she
Yeah.
was like, my
Why is
boyfriend
she
taught me
shooting
this.
guns again? Yeah.
Yeah. And for you though, what was the most fun about getting to kind of play a character who is on paper a housewife, and then as the movie goes on, you learn more and more about her, and she's significantly more interesting than just a housewife.
I mean, that's always the dream. That's the dream for an actor, is that a character can appear one way and then you start peeling back layers, and that there are in fact layers to peel back, and it reveals a more complicated, complex character. That's what you want to play.
Mhm.
And so this just felt great. It felt like there was a lot to dig into, and it was also something very different than I had played for a long time. I hadn't played a character like this, and that felt really challenging, finding where this character lives on a day-to-day basis, and how does she talk, how does she walk, all those things. And yeah, it was a really great character to kind of sink my teeth into.
And with, you said you like thrillers and you're like, I wish they would come back. I do too. I remember the 90s thrillers were always the best
Exactly, and
because
it
you
was a
were
lot
just
of
like,
females too,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, which one, it is very interesting because things like Fatal Attraction are coming out as a TV show, and like we're slowly starting to like go back to the thriller genre, even though it's not like
Yeah.
what it used to be. But what do you kind of hope audiences take away when they get to see Double Life?
I hope they really enjoy and feel excited about and empowered by seeing two female protagonists. I think that that's exciting to see. It's
Mhm.
still rare. We don't see that a lot in the scope of cinema. And two women who are not in any way ultimately reliant on a man. The male characters are really supporting characters, and the two women lean on one another. And also, I hope audiences feel excited about seeing a complicated female friendship that kind of defies odds. That's exciting. That is an exciting thing to witness, that it's not two women trying to pull each other down, cat fight, or just be superficial. I felt like there were a lot of dynamics and a lot of layers to their relationship, and I hope audiences feel excited about that. And I hope also, just on a very base level, forget all that stuff. I hope they just enjoy the mystery and the thrill of this story.
Yeah, because like you said, it is interesting that like, but basically all the male characters are kind of pointless. Like it's the women, like the male characters are there, but it's like they're not helping anyone. It is the
Yeah,
women who are.
yeah,
And it is still rare, but it's fun to see when you're like, that guy didn't do anything. He was just like sitting somewhere and got captured. Meanwhile, they fought off like four dudes. Um, but as a last quick fun question, I just like, obviously I said this could be a whole series of just like bad boys, but with these two characters. If you had to come back and had to fight, what would you want the next movie to be like? What would you want them to have to solve and fight together next?
I don't know what I'd want them to solve, but I certainly would want Sharon, my character, to become like,
Mm,
Joe has taken her under her wing and has trained her. And so she now has more like equal footing on the like guns and physical fighting and hands-on, um like kind of fighting and technique that Joe does. And I'd love to,
mm.
I just, because personally I think it's really fun, and to play around with that stuff on set. And so that,
Yeah.
I would love that if that happened for Sharon. That would be great.
Yeah, but then Sharon actually can do the headshot that Joe can't. Because Joe was like, I was aiming for that and it didn't
Yeah,
get anywhere
yeah,
close.
exactly. Sharon's skills surpass Joe's.
Yeah.
In fact, she's way more accurate.
Yeah. And Joe's just like, I trained you. This is
Yeah.
my win. Thank you so much for talking with me today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you too. Nice to talk to you, Rachel.
Have a
Bye.
great one. Bye.